Once upon a time, in the small, bustling town of Meadowsville, lived an 8-year-old girl named Lily. With her curious brown eyes and an infectious smile, Lily was known throughout the neighborhood as a joyful presence. She spent her days playing in the town's little park, often accompanied by her loyal golden retriever, Max. But Lily had a special quality about her. She was known for her acts of kindness toward everyone she met, regardless of whether they were friends or strangers. One crisp autumn afternoon, as golden leaves danced in the air and the sun dappled the ground, Lily and Max trotted off to the park. They were racing against the wind when Lily's eye caught sight of an elderly man sitting alone on a bench. His countenance was thoughtful and slightly somber as he gazed at the people around him. His attire was simple, a neatly pressed suit and a walking cane by his side. A tinge of loneliness seemed to wrap around him like the scarf he wore to shield against the chill. Lily, noticing his solitude, tugged at Max's leash and walked over to the man. "Hello, sir!" she exclaimed cheerfully, her voice bouncing with excitement. The man raised his head and met Lily's spirited gaze. Startled by her friendliness, he managed a gentle smile. "Hello, young lady," he responded, trying to puff warmth into his expression. Lily, with the persistent curiosity only a child can possess, asked, "Why are you sitting here all alone?" The old man chuckled softly at her directness. "I just enjoy watching the world around me," he replied. "But today, I must admit it feels a bit lonely." Inspired by a sense of empathy, Lily thought for a moment, and then reached into her little satchel. She retrieved a homemade cookie, lovingly wrapped in a piece of colorful napkin, and handed it to the man. "My mom makes the best cookies," Lily declared, her eyes twinkling with pride. "Maybe it will make you feel better," she added. Touched by the gesture, the old man's eyes welled up. "Thank you, my dear. It's been a long time since anyone has been so kind," he confessed. As they continued to converse, Lily learned that the man, whose name was Mr. Reynolds, had once lived in Meadowsville many years ago. Life's current had carried him to distant places, and time had ebbed away his connections here. Listening to Mr. Reynolds's stories, Lily couldn't help but think how stories were like threads, weaving people together in unexpected ways. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, Lily bid farewell to Mr. Reynolds, promising to visit him again. Little did she know, the interaction had set a chain of events that would unfold into something extraordinary. That evening, as Lily related the encounter to her parents, they were taken aback when the name Mr. Reynolds rang familiar. Her father, Thomas, shook his head as memories flooded back. Mr. Reynolds had been a family acquaintance many years ago. A cherished one at that, who had mysteriously lost touch following a major relocation. Intrigued and nostalgic, Thomas decided to accompany Lily on her next visit to the park. The next day, as the autumn sun bathed the park in golden light, Lily and her father approached the bench. Mr. Reynolds was once again enjoying the day's tranquility. Seeing him, Thomas's face lit up with recognition. "Mr. Reynolds, it's Thomas. I can't believe it's really you," he exclaimed. Mr. Reynolds stared back in astonishment as the realization sank in. His eyes, once clouded with loneliness, now shimmered with the light of an old friendship rekindled. He stood up, embracing Thomas warmly. Over the following weeks, stories were swapped, laughter shared, and a reunion confirmed. It appeared that Lily's small act of kindness had not only provided company for an elderly man, but had also reunited families, forging bonds that time had not weakened, but merely placed on hold. This extraordinary series of events taught Lily an invaluable lesson. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, carries the power to change lives. Her innocent gesture expanded into something beyond what she could ever have imagined, reinforcing her belief in the magic of human connection.